I was standing outside my son's bedroom door when I heard her say it, my daughter-in-law's voice, low, certain, like a woman who had already decided everything. Alex, your mother cannot stay here anymore. Either she goes to Meadow Pines or I do. And my son, my own son, said, okay, now let me tell you what happened next, because I promise you, neither of them saw it coming. My name is Sarah. I am 72 years old, and this is my story. I had one son, Alex. I raised him alone after his father passed. We were not rich, but I worked, I saved, I gave Alex everything I had. He grew up, got a good job, married a woman named Claire. Claire was polished, expensive perfume, perfect nails, always dressed like she was going somewhere important. She was never rude to my face. She was something worse. She was sweet, the kind of sweet that has an agenda behind it. The first time I visited their home, Claire had ordered food in. I offered to cook next time. She smiled and said, "Oh, Sarah, you really don't have to." The way she said Sarah. Not Mum, not even Mrs. Sarah, just Sarah. Like I was a neighbour, like I was someone passing through. I told myself, she just needs time. I told myself that for 3 years. Then I was diagnosed with early-stage dementia. Small things at first, forgetting names, missing appointments. Alex took me to the doctor. He held my hand in that office. He said, "We'll figure this out, Mum." I believed him. 3 weeks later, I was staying at their house. I couldn't sleep one night. I walked to the kitchen for water. Their bedroom door was open just slightly, and I heard Claire. "She left the gas on twice this week, Alex. She called me the wrong name yesterday. This is only getting worse." Alex. Quiet. She's my mother. Claire. Firmer. And a nursing home is not a punishment. Meadow Pines is beautiful. She'll be safe there. We cannot do this. We have our own life. Alex, your mother cannot stay here anymore. Either she goes to Meadow Pines or I do. Okay. I walked back to my room. I sat on the edge of the bed and I made a decision. I would not beg. I would not cry in front of them. I would go. But I would remember. Next morning, Claire is in the kitchen making coffee. Sarah walks in, calm, composed. Claire looked up with that polished smile. "Good morning, Sarah. Sleep well?" I sat down across from her. I looked at her directly. "Claire, I want to talk to you, woman to woman." Her smile flickered. "Of course. I heard you last night, both of you." The air in the room changed. Claire set down her cup. Her voice stayed controlled. "Sarah, this comes from a place of care. You need proper medical attention. We simply cannot—" I raised one hand, gently. "Claire, I am not going to argue with you. I am going to go, because I will never stay where I am not truly wanted. That is not how I was raised. But I want to ask you one thing, just one. Did you ever, even once, think of me as family?" Claire looked at the table. She said nothing. That silence was her answer. I nodded slowly. "Thank you. At least that is honest." I stood up, and I walked out of that kitchen with my head up. Alex is driving. I sit in the passenger seat. 15 minutes of silence. I speaks first. Quietly, "Alex." "Yeah, Mum. If your father were alive right now, do you think he would recognize you?" Silence. Alex grips the wheel tighter. "Mum, I am not saying it to hurt you. I am saying it because I still love you. And love tells the truth, even when it is painful. I gave you 31 years, Alex. I am not asking for 31 back. I just want to know, was I worth one honest conversation before this decision?" His voice breaks slightly. "I didn't know how to— I know. That is the saddest part, son. You forgot how to talk to me, and I don't even know when that happened." They pull up to Meadow Pines. Alex turns off the engine. Neither moves. He looked at me, eyes wet. "I'm sorry, Mum." I looked at my son, my boy, and I said, I know you are, but sorry does not open a door that love already closed. I got out of the car. I did not look back. Now, here is the part nobody knew. My late husband had one habit that used to drive me crazy. He bought land, old land, cheap land, empty plots on the edge of town that nobody wanted. I used to argue, "Why are you wasting money on dirt?" He used to laugh and say, "Sarah, cities grow outward. Wait and see." He was right. 2 months after I moved into Meadow Pines, I received a letter from a real estate attorney, a major development project. The government needed those plots. The number in that letter was so large I read it 4 times. I signed the papers, and overnight I was wealthy, genuinely, seriously wealthy. I thought about calling Alex. Then I remembered the word okay. I put the phone down. I called a good attorney instead. I moved out of Meadow Pines and into a beautiful apartment with morning sun and a garden balcony. I hired a kind young helper named Amara. I joined a women's group on Thursdays, and for the first time in years, I stopped waiting for anyone. I was simply living. 3 months after I move into my new apartment, word travels fast, especially about money. One afternoon, my doorbell rang. I opened it. Claire, standing there in her perfect coat, that same polished smile, but something behind the eyes, something calculating. "Sarah, you look wonderful. I've been meaning to come see you." Meaning to come see me. "Claire, yes? I am going to be very honest with you because I am too old for anything else. You did not come here for guilt. You came here because you heard about the land, and I respect that you came. At least you showed up, but I want you to know something. I forgave you the moment I walked out of your kitchen, not for you, for myself, because I refused to carry that weight. But forgiveness does not mean I forget, and it does not mean we go back. There is no starting fresh, Claire. You cannot plant new seeds in ground you already burned." Claire's expression breaks, just slightly. "So what do?" I looked at her. "Go home. Work on your marriage honestly. Not for my money, not for security. If you love Alex, love him. If you don't, let him go. That's the only advice I have." Claire left. She did not finish her tea. Some months pass, I heard later, not because I asked, but because life carries news, that things between Alex and Claire grew worse after that visit. Claire had changed after seeing my apartment. She became restless, demanding, comparing their life to what she imagined mine was now. And Alex, maybe because of that drive to Meadow Pines, maybe because of something I said in that car, Alex finally started to see clearly who she was, who he had become. 6 months later, Alex called me. "Mum, Claire and I are separating. She's leaving." Silence on the line. I said, "Are you okay?" He was quiet for a moment. Then, "Honestly, yeah, I think I am." "Mum, can I come see you sometime?" I said. "Alex, you are my son. That never changed. But I need you to come as my son. Not when life falls apart, not when you need something. Come because you want to. Can you do that?" "Yes, Mum, I can." "Then come Sunday. I'll make tea." End of call. I set down the phone. I walked to my balcony. Morning sun, jasmine blooming, inner thought, peaceful, full. He came that Sunday. We didn't talk much. We just sat, and it was enough. This is my story, and this is what I learned. When people move you out of their life, sometimes God is just moving you into a better one. They thought they were removing me. They were just getting out of the way. If something like this has ever happened in your life, share your story in the comments and tell me, what kind of story would you like to hear next? Your stories, your voice. That's what truly brings this channel to life.